Hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome to what I think is the most exciting video of the year, and that is the official flip through and launch of my 2025 Goals with Laken Planner. This planner just makes me so happy. It changed my life and the way that I think about goals and accomplish my goals, and I know that it's also been such an amazing tool for so many of you as well, and I'm excited to share the new version of it with you. So if you are new here, hi, welcome. My Goals with Laken Planner is a tool that I created for myself. It's what I needed, what I wanted in a goal planner. I created the perfect tool for me, and I hope that it helps some of you as well. This has been in the works. This is technically the third year. The first year in 2023 was kind of a trial and error. It was just me using it, then just community members, and it was kind of a little bit of back and forth. 2024 was the first year that we had a full year version of the planner along with the prep work pages, and so 2025 is just an amazing continuation of that. I appreciate every single one of you who helped fill out the feedback survey from 2024 to help make the changes and make this awesome version that I have created for 2025. There were so many amazing suggestions and ideas. A few of them I have saved on my list potentially for next year that didn't make it into this version, but didn't get cut off of my list completely. But I'm excited to share the changes with you. There's nothing huge. None of the changes I made this year are absolutely drastic, at least in my opinion. I think some of them are incredibly helpful and are going to make your life easier, but none of them, there's no groundbreaking differences from the prior version, but I will go through all of those details in the flip through section of this video. Regardless, every year of this planner will continue to get better and better, and I think that some of these little changes and small tweaks make this version so much better. Okay, a couple housekeeping detail things before we get into the flip through. Number one, the specs or the structure of the planner has not changed. It is still a digital planner that you will get a PDF downloadable version of in 8.5 by 11. For now, I am still only offering it in that one size. If you want to print it in a different size, you can, but I think 8.5 by 11 is the best option for those of us who are printing this planner at home on our home printers. It is the easiest one to not have to make any adjustments, change out paper sizes, etc. For now, except for the cover page, it will still be in black and white. The cover page has a little bit of color, but you'll see I printed it in black and white. It still prints out beautifully. Just like in 2024, there are 3 options for you to purchase. The first option is just the prep work pages. So if you have no idea what you want your goals to be and you need some clarity figuring out what those goals are, what do you actually have time to work on in 2025? And what do those goals look like to you? Clearly define them and then breaking them down. That's the most important part. There is a whole set of prep work pages that is designed to help you with that particular piece of things. And if you already know what goal planner you want to use and it's not the Goals with Laken planner, but you need help with that background work of defining and breaking things down, you can get just the prep work pages all by themselves. Now, if on the flip side, you know what you want your goals to be, and you're like, I don't need to do any of that background work. I'm clear. I know what I want to accomplish. I just need help actually accomplishing them, then you can get just the quarterly follow-through pages. And you can get whatever quarter it is that you're watching this video, you can get just those quarters pages. It is still very important to me to be able to offer these each quarter individually. That way, if you're watching this video in the middle of August, you don't have to either buy a full year planner that you're not going to use or wait until January to get a new version. You can jump right in with the Q3 version of the planner and start making progress literally today. So there's a quarterly version of the planner that has the breakdown pages for the quarterly goals and then each month's sets of pages, which again, you'll see all of those details, what those look like in the flip through. And then of course there is the annual planner, which is all of it combined together. If you know that this is the planner that works for you and this is the best fit, you can save a good amount of change by buying the entire year together. So you get the prep work pages and all 4 quarters of the planner combined into one, and you're gonna save over 30% if you got each of them individually, and you could get that entire year planner right now. Then, once you have purchased, if you are purchasing either the quarterly or the full year planner, there are 4 versions. So I don't want you to have to make these decisions now. You may change your mind in the middle of the year which one of these is a better fit for you. So I want you to be able to have the option to download all 4 versions of the planner. There are 2 different options that create these versions. So the first one is a Monday start versus a Sunday start. If you've been around, you know I'm a Monday start girl through and through. The week starts on a Monday. I want all my calendars, weekly, monthly, all of them to start on a Monday. Some people like a Sunday start. Sunday is the first day of the week for them. So I've created both a Monday and a Sunday start version of the planner. The other option that helps create these versions are the progress tracking. So on the monthly tracker page, which is arguably the most important page in the planner, there is one component where you are tracking your one-time steps. I personally like a checkbox where I'm just acknowledging, hey, I made some progress on this one-time step. But some of you really love the progress bar and being able to shade it in as you go throughout the month. So I wanted to create both versions of that as well. So whenever you purchase the planner, whether you're getting an individual quarter or the entire year, you're going to see all 4 options to download: Monday start, box or bar, and Sunday start, box or bar. All right, that is it in terms of details. Let's get to the flip through. All right, let's get into the flip through of the actual planner. So like I mentioned, you are gonna get a digital product, not a physical product. You can either print this at home. I sent this to FedEx to get printed out. This is not the full year planner. I'm gonna show you, this is the prep work pages in Q1 that I'm gonna show you. Like I said, if you buy the full year version, you're gonna get all 4 quarters and the prep work pages. I just didn't get them all sent to FedEx to get printed out. I personally don't, I print my planner out as I need it instead of printing out the full year, but I know a lot of you will get it printed for the full year. Some of you will get it coiled. I personally like to hole punch mine and stick it in a binder. That is what works for me, but you can also use it digitally if that is what works for you. So like I mentioned in the intro, the cover page now comes with color. I personally wanted like a little bit of a pop of color, but I do think that keeping the majority of the planner in black and white just makes it more accessible and easier for you to be able to print at home than if there were pops of color throughout the planner. So this is what it looks like if you print it in black and white. If you print it in color, it will have a rainbow where it says Laken. One of the big changes, there's kind of 2 quick intro changes I'm gonna talk about. One is that there are going to be notes pages sprinkled throughout the planner that will make it printing and using the pages a little bit easier. So there are a handful of pages, like the cover page, that on the back of it, I didn't want there to be an important page. This was a change that I decided very early on this year was going to be in the 2025 version. So for example, if you print this and you want to stick the cover page in a pocket of a binder, now it's a notes page on the back. You could still print the entire thing front to back, like 2-sided, and not have to worry about losing this page on the back. And you'll see, I'll show you where that happens in other pages as well. The other big change is the page numbers. So last year I didn't count the cover page as a page, and I jumped into page 1 right after the cover. In theory, not a big deal. And for those of you who just print it all and print the entire year at the beginning, you wouldn't have even noticed that that was an issue. For someone like me who prints it as I go, that got very annoying. Every time I went to print a page, I had to look at the page number like on Adobe as opposed to the page number on the actual page. And it just was very confusing. So there is no page number on the cover page, but it is technically page 1, which just makes sense. It's a small change, but it's gonna make my life, and hopefully some of you, if you do what I do and print as you go, your lives a lot easier as well. All right, let's get into the actual planner pages. So like I said, most of the changes this year are kind of small tweaks. We still start with our 2024 reflection, starting with the calendar version of reflecting. And then we have 2 pages of reflection questions. This was originally 3 pages. I condensed it down and changed some of the wording a little bit to make it just make a little more sense for me. Again, some of these changes were things that I noticed very early on that I wanted to change. Some of these changes you submitted as things that you wanted differently in this planner. And I very much appreciate all of your input. So we start with our 2024 reflection, then we go into what goals could matter. There's 2 pages for that. Then we go into what goals do matter. You start to narrow it in a little bit for 2025. And then we talk about 2025 actual. How much time, how many resources, what is your year going to actually look like? How much time are you going to have to spend on your goals? Then you'll take all that information from all the prior pages and brainstorm what your goals could be for 2025. And then this to me is the most important part of this prep work section that I feel like I never found in a different goal planner. And that's getting really clear on what these goals mean to me, because the same goal can look different for different people. So getting very clear on what the goal looks like for you. and then breaking those goals down. So there's a whole page dedicated to each goal. So on one page, it will be you define the goal, and then on the back, you will break that goal down, and you will have one of those pages for 8 goals. If you choose not to have 8 goals, that's fine. You will just have unused pages. You can either not print them out, or you can just leave them blank if you're getting the whole thing coiled. And then you have a page for your overarching annual goals. And there are a couple changes to this that again came from some personal preferences of mine. So number 1 is the notes page on the back. That way, if you take this page and you want to hang it up somewhere so that you can see it, you're not losing a page of the planner on the back. Number 2 is there's no page number on this page. I don't know what it was, y'all. I didn't like seeing the page number on the page. The page numbers are very helpful when I am helping you go through these pages. I think that the page numbers are key when I'm like, you're working on page 5 at this point. But for this page in particular, I liked not having a page number. I always found myself taking it off of mine before I would print it. So I figured, let's go ahead and put it in the actual version. The other major change this year is that there is now an appendix. And let me grab it. It's actually hanging out back here in the back of my planner. So what the appendix has is everything that is not necessary in your planner, but pages that I thought you might want to have. So the first part of the appendix actually is a breakdown method. So if you need help breaking down your goals, this page is your reference. This is how the page that you can go to when you're working on these pages. That's the first page of the appendix. No matter what version of the planner you buy, this will be in your appendix. The other thing that the appendix has is an annual goal page for all the other number of goals options. So like I mentioned, there are 8 breakdown pages, and the page built within the planner has space for 8 goals. If you decide that 8 goals is not the right number, and there is a different number of goals that is the better number for you, there is a page for that. So there is one for 7, there is a page for 6. You'll see the boxes obviously get bigger as there's more, but there's not empty space for 5, for 4, all the way down to 3. So any number of goals that you have, you can go into the appendix and grab the annual goal page that works for your goals, and you won't have this extra empty space at the bottom. Because I know, like me, a lot of you are like, well, I don't want empty space, but I don't have 8 goals. Great, you have 5 goals, go print out the 5 goal sheet, and then you can write bigger. So that was a big addition this year that I think is incredibly helpful. The last piece of the appendix, I guess while we're talking about the appendix, are the page overview. So what we have back here are just some additional guidance on working through the planner and tips on how to use the pages. At the beginning, I have some of them grouped together on how you're gonna use those pages. And as you get further into the page overviews, there's a little bit more details, but there's some little pep talk things from me, some little notes on things to think about as you're working through each of the pages. This originally was built into the planner as well, and then you were printing it almost every single quarter, which is totally unnecessary. And so now it all lives in the appendix. All right, let's keep going. The last part of the prep work are the wins trackers. And these, in my opinion, are still one of the most important things because we are so bad at celebrating our progress. And I am guilty of it too, y'all. I did not do a good job of filling these out last year, if I'm being totally honest. And I am committed in 2025 to doing a better job of filling these out. And there will actually be even a check mark you'll see when we get to the monthly section to remind you to fill these pages out. So there are 8 of these as well. Again, if you don't have 8 goals, you will have unused pages. So those are all of the pages that come in the prep work. So if you buy just the prep work, those are the pages that will come with that. And if you buy the full year, this will be at the beginning. Let's move into the quarterly section. So this is the Q1 section. If you buy just Q1, this is where it will jump in. It will have a title page with a notes page behind it, and then it will jump in to this quarterly version. And again, the annual one will have all 4 of these. So we start with the Q1 overview. One of the things that I removed that you won't find here that was in last year's version is a December reflections. I think in my head, I was like, well, we have to reflect on the prior month. And it's like, we just reflected on the whole year. So there is no December reflections in this section, because the other thing that I did is the reflections are part of the prior version. I don't know if I'm explaining that well. Like, you'll see the Q1 version goes all the way through the March reflection, as opposed to the March reflection being part of the Q1 version. So anyway, we start with the Q1 overview, the calendar, getting a sense of what your Q quarter looks like. Then we brainstorm, we put all of our annual goals down, And then we brainstorm what we could focus on in Q1. Then we have a breakdown page. Once again, space for 8 goals. But if you do not have 8, you will have empty pages. And then we have the page where we write down our Q1 goals. Just like the annual goals, we have a notes page on the back. And just like the annual goals, there will be a version of this in the appendix that has 7 all the way down to 3. There's actually a bonus notes page here so that things work out in the future. And then we move into the monthly sections. So we start with the January monthly section. Also, this calendar page and this calendar page will be, this is the Monday start that I'm showing you. If you download the Sunday start, it will be the Sunday start. Then we have our monthly overview page, followed by our goal brainstorm. You will notice that there was a different brainstorm page that was in here. I created that for me. I like brainstorming before, like as soon as I set up the month. A lot of you felt like that page was redundant and unnecessary, so I took it out. I don't want you to feel like there's more than you have to do. I know that some things I create, that's how my brain works. And truthfully, that brainstorming I now do in my notes app on my phone. So I took out that brainstorm page. The only brainstorm page is the one that you will do when you're actually setting up your goals for the month. And then we have the goal tracker page. This also is the Monday start version, and this is the progress checkbox. Like I mentioned in the intro, there are 4 versions of this. You can either get the Monday start or the Sunday start, and you can get the progress checkbox or the progress bar. Then notes page on the back. That way, if you want to take this page and print it somewhere, you're not losing a page of your planner. And then here's the reflection. That's part of that January section. Then we move into February, all the same pages, February reflection, and then the same thing into March. And the March reflection is part of this, followed by the Q2 goal brainstorm on the back. Every quarter we'll have the next quarter brainstorm. If you have the annual version, this will go straight into Q2. If you just get the Q1 version, this is where it will end. I also did, just so you can see, I printed out this is what the progress bar version looks like. So I almost forgot because I did not send it to get FedEx to get printed. So if the coloring on these pages look different, it's because it's printed on my not as nice printer at home as opposed to the beautiful pages I got printed at FedEx. When you get the Q2 or beyond versions, there will also be quarterly check-in pages. So when you're setting up for the year, you don't have those quarterly check-in pages, right? We just jump straight into, well, now this is all messed up. We just jump straight into the quarterly overview page, this one. When you go into Q2 or beyond, we need to check in with our goals. So those versions do come with some more pages. So the Q2 version will come with these Q1 check-in pages. It is a half a page for each of your goals. So there'll be 4 of these pages in that planner. And it's questions to just check in with how your Q1 goals went. And then there are also pages to check in with your annual goals. These questions actually changed a little bit this year. I realized when I was working on it this year, it felt a little repetitive from these questions to these questions. Even though we're thinking about different goals, right? Here we're thinking about the quarterly ones and here we're thinking about the annual ones. It still felt repetitive to me. So I changed up the questions a little bit. But same thing, you have a half of a page for each of your annual goals. So there'll be 4 of these in the case that you have all 8 annual goals. So the Q2 version of the planner, or 3 or 4, will have these quarterly check-ins as well. Depending on when you're watching this video, the quarterly version that is available will be whatever quarter is currently makes sense, right? If you're watching this video when it goes live, it's going to be the Q1 version. If you're watching it at a later point in the year, the version on the website is the current version, or depending on the time of year, you could still grab the whole year. And the prep work pages by themselves will always be available as well in case there's any time of the year that you need to check in and figure out what your goals are. Okay, I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this planner, so excited about the new year. I hope that you're excited about the changes. If you have any questions about anything, please feel free to leave them in the comments so that I can answer them for you. And if you are like, I am in, I love this product, I'm ready, but I need your help. I need your help actually using it. I need your help making sure I don't just let this planner collect dust or storage space on my computer. I have 2 options for you for ongoing support. Number 1 is if you need help getting it set up before the year even starts. Do you need some extra accountability, pep talks, guidance as you're working through those prep work pages? I am going to be hosting, just like I have, I think this is year 5 that we've been doing these, annual goal prep workshops. There's gonna be 3 workshops. Depending on when you're watching this video, you can either join those workshops live, they're going to be in December, or if you're watching this after that, you can always grab them and watch the replays, but it will be me guiding you through each page, giving a little bit more guidance to the questions, a little bit more of like thoughts in the moment, and then holding you accountable to making sure that you answer every single page without overthinking it. Keep going, turn the page, get to the next set of questions. So if you need help with it will be the entire prep work section. We will spend 1 session going through reflection on the prior year. Yes, we do need to spend a whole workshop reflecting on 2024. Then we will spend a session on getting clear, defining what are the goals. Let's narrow down what is it that we want to focus on in 2025 and what do those goals mean to us. And then we will spend the last one breaking them down. Let's break those goals down into action steps that we can actually accomplish. Those are going to be the 3 workshops. Again, you can either join them live in December or purchase the replays. If you know, I've got this in December, right? I can hold myself accountable to filling out the prep work pages. I'm excited about the new year. I have some more downtime around the holidays. What I need help with is throughout the year. What I need help with is the ongoing support to check in with it on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis. I need help making sure that I fill out the goal pages every single month. That is what our membership community is for. The Goals with Laken membership is focused on your accountability. I want to make sure that you actually achieve your goals, that you aren't just filling out this goal planner and then letting it collect dust or storage space. I want you to actually do the action steps and see progress and make changes in your life. And the Goals with Laken community is focused on helping you do just that. And we do this in 3 ways. Number 1 is actual time to work on your goals. We have a weekly coaching call, and as part of every coaching call, we make progress on your goals. We hold each other accountable to 30 minutes of goal progress. It may not sound like much, but I promise you it adds up. Number 2, part of that weekly coaching call is checking in with your current goals, looking at your goal planner every single week to make sure that it still works for your life. These goals are still what matter to you. This is still what makes sense, and making sure that those action steps are in your planner. The 3rd part is every single month we have a goal workshop where you set up your planner for the following month. We reflect on the prior month, we pick our action steps, we break them down, and we figure out what it is we're going to be working on. Obviously, if you're going to use the Goals with Laken planner, both the workshops and the community are a great fit for you, but they are both set up to support you regardless of what goal planner you use. I will share the page numbers of some of the most popular goal planners, and if you're following along in those, but any goal planner or even a notebook, if you want to join us, I will support you through that as well. Okay, that's it. I'm done talking. Thank you so much for all of your support over the years, making this possible. If it wasn't for all of the support in every single way, I wouldn't have had the courage and the time and all of the things to make this product possible. And I just can't say thank you enough. I hope you're as excited about it as I am. If you are, please give this video a big thumbs up and click subscribe if you want to see how I use my goal planner throughout the year. Thank you so much for watching. Where the heck are my notes? And I know that it's worked and Sunday start. And print the entire year. Why is that a phrase? That's such a weird phrase. And the Goals with Laken